Bienvenidos a nuestra presentación en la funcionalidad multilingüe de Boopsie. So that took about 7 years of Spanish classes to stumble through. Basically, I just wanted to welcome you all to today's customer webinar on Boopsie multilingual functionality. My name is Katie Stenson, and I'm your account manager here at Boopsie for Libraries. I just wanted to start out with a quick housekeeping tip before we do begin. I typically leave everyone on mute during these webinars to avoid any audio issues, but feel free to type questions into the box on your dashboard at any time. So let's begin. Here's a quick overview of the language use in the United States. There are nearly 400 languages spoken in the United States, with nearly 1 out of 5 people in the US that speak a second language. Research suggests that language learners develop a more positive attitude towards the target language and/or speakers of the language. Aside from Spanish and English, the most commonly spoken languages include German, French, Vietnamese, and Native American languages like Ojibwa and Navajo. So just yesterday, I came across a recent Pew survey that looked at the use of libraries by immigrant Latinos. Pew found that, on one hand, Latino immigrants are less likely than other Americans to have ever visited a public library in the U.S. and are much less likely to say that they see it as very easy to do so. However, if they have been to a public library, these immigrants stand out as the most appreciative of what libraries have to offer, from free books to research resources to the fact that libraries tend to offer a quiet, safe space. So this is a great overview of the languages spoken at home other than English for 2 Boopsie communities. So locally, we're in the Santa Clara County district. So the Spanish is one of the most popularly spoken language outside of English, but there's also quite a few other Asian languages that fill up that percentage as well. And if you look to the right, we do have a chart for Multnomah, which we'll look into a little bit further. Does a great job of making sure that their 4 most commonly spoken languages are included in their app. So just as kind of an idea, there's about 40,000 members of their community speak Spanish, 11,000 speak Vietnamese, 8,000 speak Russian, and about 5,000 speak Chinese. So here's a great quote from Jeremy Graybill at Multnomah County Library. "We hold a deep commitment to being responsive to the communities we serve. Our We Speak Your Language approach provides information and resources to community members in Spanish, Russian, Vietnamese, and Chinese. Boopsie has been a fantastic partner for us to enable this service." All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a quick little demo of the Multnomah County Library app. So if you go ahead here, here's the app. And as you can see, it opens up in English, but then if you click up here in the right-hand corner of the app, there's this little black and white box. So if you click on that, it'll bring up the settings for your library. And in the settings is where you can go ahead and choose which language you would like to use the app in. We'll go ahead and we'll pick the Russian channel. So if you go ahead now, you see everything is automatically translated into Russian. So, you can go into the calendar, the catalog, search results. So if you go click on the catalog, it shows here they chose to have everything translated in one menu. So, you have your English, your Spanish, Chinese, Vietnamese, and Russian. And then that way, if you go back to the home, even the bottom navigation bar down here is translated in Russian as well. So we'll just go pop back. If you want to go ahead, you can try, a different language. So you can switch to Spanish. Everything again is still translated as well. And it's just as easy, as, picking a different menu from the list. And if you do leave the app, you can come back and it will remember what language you had chosen. So I just want to give you a couple of usage stats for our multilingual libraries. Pasadena Public Library's multilingual users have performed 10% of catalog searches since the mobile app went live. For Arapahoe Library Districts, 11% of the queries in November of 2013 were performed in Spanish and Russian. At Multnomah County Library, about 4.8% of the queries in 2013 were in Spanish, 2.3% were in Chinese, 1.7% in Vietnamese, and 0.8% in Russian. Translating your mobile app is quite easy. You can have as many languages that you need to set up. So as long as they are read from left to right, we can add them to your app. So in this case, it kind of shows you kind of the catalog, how it's set up. The left has the English menu, On the right, we have everything translated into Spanish for your library app. So what we'll do is we'll send you a template for your translation for each language, and then you can engage your community or staff to help with the translations. Or you can always just kind of use, we have like a basic kind of translation available as well. And then the next screen, it shows Arapahoe Library District here in Russian. So, once you've gone through, you've reviewed everything, you made sure everything looks good, then you go ahead and we'll make the changes live. So that, there's a great value of adding multilingual functionality to your app. The price is minimum to add a new language to your app. In fact, depending on your contract level, it could already be a service that's available to your library at no additional charge. As I mentioned before, there are unlimited languages. However, they do need to be read from left to right. So unfortunately, at this point, we cannot offer translations to Arabic or Hebrew, among other languages. And it's a great function that helps involve more of your community who might not have known about the great resources your library offers. I hope you enjoyed today's webinar. I'm going to check to see if we have any questions. And if you don't, have a chance to ask now, feel free to contact us at sales@boopsie.com. So let me just take a quick check. It looks like we do have a question. Somebody had wondered if we were able to add Hindi as an option for language. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I believe Hindi is read from left to right, so we should be able to translate, but I can definitely follow up with you after the webinar and just give you kind of a little bit more details as well. And as another reminder, our next customer webinar will be about our patron survey and some tips, tricks, and results, which will be hosted on April 1st. I am finalizing the invite at this time. And so for more information, will be available at boopsie.com/customer-webinar soon. So while you're there, be sure to check out the recordings of our previous webinars as well. Thank you for your time, and I hope you all have a great day.